Today marks the fourth week of schools here in Park City being back in session, and right now joining us is Dr. Ben Belnap. He is the Associate Superintendent of Student Wellness. We are going to primarily discuss health and wellness of the students right now during this unique school year. Dr. Belnap, 1 month in, how are things?
Hey, well, it's nice to see you. Good morning. How are you?
So how has the school year been going for this past month?
It's been going well, actually. There were definitely we were pretty concerned about a lot of the, obviously, under the different circumstances we have this year. There were a lot of concerns going in, and we are, of course, there are always going to be some hurdles and some obstacles in the road we've got to maneuver around. But tip of the cap to all the people over the summer who put in a lot of time and energy to be sure that we prepared and really laid all the groundwork for an effective start to the year. I think it's been overall a really positive. In fact, even better, it's kind of exceeded even my expectations as far as how smoothly it's gone so far. Obviously, with a few hiccups.
And I want to point out the significance of Park City School District having a superintendent over student wellness. Tell me more about that position and how the district has really prioritized mental health and wellness with the students.
Yeah, this definitely is unique to Park City School District. And I obviously, being in this position and absolutely thrilled about it. The reason I think this really came around is our Park City School Board at the time when they created this position recognized. So see, this is my fourth year now going in this position. So, a little over 3 years ago, I think our school board recognized that students, obviously learning is top priority, but if students' mental health and behavioral and social, emotional needs are not being met at school, it's really difficult for them to get into the space where they can learn. So I really love that they prioritize that because we really can wrap our arms around. And obviously, I'm not the one in the trenches doing the work. I work with amazing people, our counselors and social workers and our nurses. But they're the ones that are doing it. And it's really cool that our school district has made it a priority to where I can sort of be a unifying presence for all of our teams. To provide that support for our students, really enhance learning.
And during your time with the school district, what objectives and programs have you been able to implement that have really helped with overall student wellness?
Sure. So we've got, we now have at least a half-time social worker in addition to our counseling staff in every school. So we've been able to get on a lot more mental health support individually for our kids. We also have been able to roll out a lot more systemic support for our students. A huge priority of mine has been putting together a multi-tiered process to be able to catch all of our students. So we have, our general population of students that our teachers support and our counselors can support as needed. But then when we find if that's not adequate, we have a system in place to where they can move up to that next level of support if they need that for small groups, for pull out support or whatever, all the way up to individual support. So that's been really neat to see everybody kind of take off and run with that sort of tiered model. So we're not just randomly shooting off in the distance. This student came in feeling a little upset today. Let's pull them into the office. Where rather we have supports in place, and we've done a lot of trainings for teachers to where they can be more sensitive and not just more sensitive, I guess, but have more systematic training on how to support students at their, when they're at their low points. Additionally, we have the University of Utah. We've partnered with, along with Summit County, the health department, to provide even more intensive support. So we have about 40 hours a week dedicated to providing therapeutic services in the schools for our students from the University of Utah. So that's been a really great partnership we've had that we've been able to kind of foster and create.
And this school year has provided many challenges. What, in general, mental health issues have arisen with your students, with your staff? And how are you taking care of everyone when you have some students in class, some students remote? What type of things have you been having to juggle, and how are you addressing these issues that come up?
That's a great question. And that, when I said earlier that we've had, a few obstacles, that's definitely been one of them. It's been really tricky. So, first off, I guess I got to say, I came in kind of cautiously optimistic about how things were going to go with like mask implementation and social distancing. And I had some concerns that there were going to be a lot of students that would really push back and say, no, I'm not wearing my mask. You can't make me wear my mask. And we have been really pleasantly surprised, cross your finger, knock on wood, about how well our students have done with this and how quickly they've adjusted to that expectation. And every now and again, we'll have a student, as it happens, with their mask kind of pull it below their nose like this for a minute. And they've been really responsive for the most part to say, hey, just make sure you pop that up over your nose. So hats off to our parents for supporting that. I know that starts in the home, being able to work with our kids. So thank you so much for that. But that's been great. Some of the difficult things, have been this kind of hybrid in-person blending instruction. And that's a big concern I have for our students and also for our teachers, because it has been a lot for our teachers to do their typical lesson planning, be there in the classroom, and then have to, find the time and energy to support these students online to ensure that they get the appropriate education too. And our teachers have done a really great job adapting to that. But there have been, it's been really difficult, and we're working now with our secondary schools. Our principal, Mr. Arbabi at the high school, has come up with a few different plans on maybe trying to create a little bit more time during the day for our online learners, for our teachers. And so we're continually trying to adapt. We've said from the onset that this school year is the year of flexibility, being adaptable, and that's been it. I mean, we've had a lot of staff that have stepped in. When teachers aren't there, we've had to quarantine, a couple of teachers if they've been exposed. And we've had staff all come together, jump in and say, you know what, I work in this area, but if you need me to be a substitute for the next 2 weeks, I'll do it. And it's been really neat to see the way people have come together for that.
Well, and hats off to you, Dr. Belnap, and the entire school district for really taking care this school year and also prioritizing student mental health and wellness. We appreciate Dr. Belnap for taking the time to spend with us today here on Park City Television on our Health and Wellness Thursday. I'm sure we will have many more conversations with Dr. Belnap about this school year. We'll be back with more right after this.